As of the night of December 6, 2022, the New Jersey Devils are your NHL leaders. That's right. After tonight, the New Jersey Devils improved to 43 points on the season. That's good enough for first place across the entire National Hockey League. Did we think that anybody would be saying that about the New Jersey Devils coming into this season? Certainly not. But now that we're here, everyone's saying it because it's true. The Devils are the best team in the National Hockey League right now. That is because the Boston Bruins back 2 points at 41 and second, leading the Atlantic Division. They have 2 games in hand on 24. The Devils played their 26th game of the year tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. They come away with a huge 3-0 victory over the last place team in the Central Division, who has been really plagued with injuries, specifically in the goaltending position. Alex Stalock and Peter Mrazek both suffering injuries, and now Arvid Soderblom is going to be the goaltender moving forward. The rookie, he's struggled. He's lost his last 6 starts in a row now for Chicago. He got on the bad end of a bad matchup here as they lose 2 games in a row, 3-0, the Islanders, and now the Devils, the Chicago Blackhawks, continue a bit of a tricky road trip. They now have lost 11 of their last 12, but it's the New Jersey Devils who will be stealing headlines because last time out, they come away with a gutsy 2-1 win over the Philadelphia Flyers on the weekend, but they did not look good during it, getting heavily outshot, and it came down to the goaltender Akira Schmid to pick up his fifth win, and continuing his perfect record of 5 wins, 0 losses, and 0 losses in overtime. But we saw Vitek Vanecek get the start, the typical starting netminder for the New Jersey Devils this year, and he continues to be one of the biggest revelations for this Devils team that has had a season of revelations. Vitek Vanecek continues to be a top 10 goaltender in this league, and he gets his second shutout of the season en route to the Devils' 21st win out of 26 games. One of 6 teams in NHL history to get 21 wins out of their first 26 games. Just for reference, last season, the Devils didn't reach that milestone of 21 wins until March 8th. Ladies and gentlemen, it's December 6th, and the Devils are at 21 wins. Just the sheer growth from last season to this season has been just off the charts. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. And they don't just look like a team that has won a few games here and there. They look like a team that is firmly the best in their division and perhaps the best in the entire league, if not for the Bruins having a couple games in hand. Anyway, as for the first period of this one, not super wide open like the Devils might have hoped. The Blackhawks did actually outshoot them in this one 10-7, but the Devils still controlled the pace of the game. A lot of offensive zone ice time, and a lot of times they would make great plays, but they would kind of leave them out there until Jack Hughes did what Jack Hughes does best, just weaving through the entire neutral zone, wheeling and dealing into the offensive zone, a cutting Dougie Hamilton. He finds him for the one-timer to make things 1-0. Nothing Soderblom could do in the goal for Chicago. 1-0 heading into the second frame, and it's the captain who strikes early on a one-timer. It was a delayed call. Chicago netminder Soderblom had his stick caught behind the net. Jonas Siegenthaler finds Nico Hischier for a one-timer, and there's nothing the poor goaltender could do to keep that one out. 2-0, and the Rock erupted. They would continue that momentum through the second frame. It was a much better period from the Devils, not only because they did end up getting more shots than the Blackhawks on target in this frame, but they also really just continued what they were doing in the first and did it even better. More pace, the forecheck. It feels like they spent the entire period in that offensive zone. And a power play goal from Jesper Bratt, another feed from Jack Hughes across, and another one-timer, 3 one-timers to give the Devils a 3-0 win. Jack Hughes gets 2 assists. Dougie Hamilton gets a goal and 2 assists. But on the other end, it's Vitek Vanecek who steals the show with a 24-save shutout, just his second of the year. And not a lot of those saves were routine. It must be said that the Devils last year, their biggest problem was injuries to their netminders. You know, they went through 7 last season, and now Vitek Vanecek is the main man, and Akira Schmid has filled in the role as the second goaltender, and he's 5-0 on the year. So things are going great in New Jersey, not just on the front end. They're not just scoring goals and getting production from their big guns. The 4 points leaders are the guys who steal the show today. Hughes with 2 assists, Hischier, Bratt, Hamilton with a goal and 2 assists. Those 4 guys lead the team in points, so they're getting production where they should be, but they're also getting some fantastic goaltending, even when Vanecek's not in, and even when Mackenzie Blackwood is injured, as he has been. Looks like things are gearing up for him to make a return. He's been in training and practice. Same with Jonathan Bernier, who's sort of easing back into it too. But that begs the question, where are those guys going to play? Because Akira Schmid's been undroppable, and Vitek Vanecek has looked like one of the best goaltenders in the entire Metropolitan Division. So there's so many good things going right for the Devils right now. That said, they are still working their way back to their best. That game against the Nashville Predators, they let that get away from them in the third period by playing a shutdown game, and they blew an opportunity on a power play that a lot of people are starting to criticize Lindy Ruff for. But they turned that around with a win against Philly in a game they shouldn't have won, and they turned that around again in a game that they most definitely should have won. It's a great performance, but still not their best. I mean, in the locker room, Brendan Smith was saying the same thing, that the Devils could still be looking better, and even guys like Jack Hughes, who are taking the league by storm, I'm sure you've seen those assists make the rounds on Twitter and Instagram now, but even those guys are saying, like, there is another level to access with this team. And that is hard to believe considering where this team has come from. But if you can look at where they are going with this young core, I mean, it makes sense. They have got so much strength all over the ice. And the Devils will be back home on Friday against the New York Islanders. They wore their black jerseys tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. They've been good luck this year, and they've been good on Tuesday nights, 6-0. On Tuesdays at home now for the New Jersey Devils. And moving on to that Friday game, they'll be in the reverse retros. So we'll see those new Colorado Rockies-inspired sweaters against the Islanders on Friday. I unfortunately can't be there, but this was another great night for the New Jersey Devils at home. They take care of business 3-0 against the lackluster Chicago Blackhawks. Goals from Dougie Hamilton, Nico Hischier, and Jesper Bratt. Jack Hughes 2 assists. Hamilton adds 2 more assists of his own, and Vitek Vanecek gets a 24-save shutout as the Devils improve to 43 points on the year. Good enough for first place in the National Hockey League. For WFUV Sports, I'm James Burley. I will see you guys next time.